keep it real.
Yeah,
what
was the post? What was the post, Byron? It say if they've been ignoring your inboxing for years and now they finally hitting you back, that means they settled for you. Yeah. That's what ended up happening is they settled for them later on in life, where the unicorns and the well-rounded guys didn't choose them, so now they're I'm gonna settle for just a happy guy.
What up? It's Three Brothers No Sense. I am Tavares Ferguson, a.k.a. Ferg. Join my co-hosts Razi and Buff. Fellas, tell them what's on your mind.
Just two quick things. One, The Undoing on HBO Max is really, really good. It's with Hugh Grant and, damn it, I can't think of her name. Julia Roberts, I think it is. Or maybe it's the other white lady. It's one of them. But
Anne Margaret?
Nah.
I don't even know who that is.
America's Sweetheart type chicks. I think it is Julia Roberts. Anyway, very, very good show. All I got to say is Jonathan is a piece of you know what. But that and the other show we have been watching, American Horror Story, I got to be honest, I'm slowly getting over it. Like, we're in the 6th season now, and they're just starting to just be so redundant with the whole somebody can get killed but still be alive. I'm like, do something different. But
so it's like almost like a soap opera type. Victor Newman died like 26 times and still be
well, like, these people don't even think that like they really died, but then they're able to come back some way. And then it's not like a typical show where if you're killed, no one can see the dead person. Like, the dead people on this show can like interact with people. It's almost kind of stupid. But I brought that show up because there's a scene where this lady hits someone with her car. And Tabitha's like, you better keep driving. So apparently my wife thinks it's okay to hit and run.
Hit and run?
Yeah. She's like, well, look how dark that road is. I'm like, so if you hit someone at night, it's a wrap for them. You just go, son. So I gotta.
They should have had a reflective gear on or something.
Yeah, so I gotta reevaluate who I'm married to right now. So that's all I got, bro.
Bro, you better set up a separate account or make her an LLC or something, bro. You need to get a side business and fund all your stuff there.
It was daylight saving time. It was dark. I had to go.
I was in a hurry. She's gonna be on your undoing, team.
Oh man, see.
And for the record, Victor Newman only died 4 times. I could have swore it was like 8, 9, 10.
You looked it up?
Yeah, I just had to wonder how many times this dude has died. I think I witnessed 2 of them.
Man, well, talking about dying, I don't know if y'all have seen Peppermint on Netflix. So people are trying to like make it sound like it's like she's as good as John Wick and all this. She's not John Wick. I'll just put it like that.
I watched 75% of it. No.
Yeah. It's not horrible. It's not bad.
Who's the main chick in that movie? What's her name?
Julia Roberts, isn't it?
Okay. So I'm just trying to see who that was in that doing. You know what? Why don't I Google that while you talk?
Okay. Yeah. So, but Peppermint it actually was, a good use of time. I mean, it wasn't horrible. But what I will tell you was good was Unfit, the psychology of Donald Trump. I don't know if you've seen that yet. It's really, really good to look at the psychology of a strongman. So it's a lot of psychologists talking about, how the people are trying to say that psychologists shouldn't speak out and shouldn't diagnose Donald Trump if they haven't actually talked to him. Well, there's some psychologists on there that's like, look, the difference is we can literally see what he does on a day-to-day basis. And so we really can diagnose him better than we can of somebody who came in and like told us lies or whatever. And so it's just a really, really good look. And it explains a lot of what's happening now with him, like not being able to accept that he lost and him going out with this big narcissistic bang.
So is he a narcissistic sociopath? What is
Yes.
it? What is this?
That's exactly what they said he's a narcissistic. No, and there's some other term. I'll look it up in a sec, but it's some other term that's even worse than just a regular narcissist. And then he's a psychopath on top of it. So it's like a 3-word thing where he's just got like this anything bad. So he's up there with Hitler, of course, Stalin, any of those folks, like. As far as his psychopathy, it explains so much about just him. That hour and a half, I was just enthralled, man. That is probably the best way to put it. I watched it and was just like, oh my God, this explains so much about him.
Is it scary to know that he ran and is still running the country right now?
Yeah. But it's nothing that we already didn't know or that we weren't already afraid of. Like him, the whole North Korea thing and him when Iran attacked inside of Iraq and how we all thought we were going to war with Iran. Like those types of fears are still there. And it gets worse the closer it gets to him actually being put out the White House.
That was Nicole Kidman. It was the other white lady in The Undoing, not Julia Roberts. My bad, y'all.
Same person.
Yeah.
Unless he finds a way to hold office, which I texted that earlier, Buff. So what's going on with all these briefs that Texas and other states are trying to do, where they're trying to pretty much take away the whole election?
I was going to ask you, was your junior senator from the great state of Texas, was he going to argue Trump's case before the Supreme Court? Because he's been asked to do so, which puts him, I'm sure, in a difficult position because I'm sure he wants to run for president again in 2024. So maybe he'll do it just to say he did it, knowing that he's not going to win. But I think it's pretty much done. After Monday, so like all the states have certified Joe Biden as the president-elect. And once the House of Representatives make it official, I believe it's this Monday coming up, then he will be official. I don't know know too much about the theater that Trump is creating with trying to go to the Supreme Court and everything, but I think it's over. It's over. He's done.
Okay. Also, what's going on with the aliens? There's really with astrophysicists or scientists was talking about there's aliens. Have you, Buff? I mean, you're in DC. Any word on that or
no word on aliens? Razi, you know a little bit about that.
Nope. Other than the Israeli national newspaper reported it. It's not like some fringe or whatever, but it was an official report from their government that they have been working with DC and the United States and have contacted aliens.
Do y'all believe in aliens?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
I do.
Yeah.
I don't believe in the whole aliens abducting us and probing us and all that stuff, but I do believe there are aliens out there. Statistically, there's no way that there aren't aliens.
Which another word could be another form of life would be considered.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely believe. I mean, it's just the universe is too vast for us just to be that one anomaly in all of this. You know what I mean? Like, but I didn't think the government confirmed it. I just thought he was high up in the government and he's like, look, hey nigga, I ain't got nothing to lose. I gain nothing from this. I'm just trying to told y'all, like, they out there, they're waiting. I think they're trying to wait to have to. Basically, I got like, he said the world isn't ready, or he said America's not ready. But he's like, the world's not ready. They want to chill out for a sec. I think they're trying to get rid of this election. I wouldn't, if I was an alien, I wouldn't want to come imagine me taking me to your leader was Trump. You know what I'm saying? So that's not where we want to go with that. But two things. First of all, somebody asked a question earlier about another one of our groups about putting up Christmas decorations, and I get into the spirit. I want to see the house decorated, but what I did is I took down a tree, and I just realized when I was describing what happened, I'm one of those people. I just realized I don't play well with others on some things. Like, I'd rather do it on my own, my way, rather than kind of collab and just like compromise on it. Otherwise, we're like, hey, have at it. I think you were saying something similar, Razi. Like, kind of just, you know what? I'm good. I'll put the tree up, get the lights going. Y'all do whatever y'all want to do. What color you want? It don't matter. It's because this is my vision. If it's not going to be this, then do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, but that's life in general, though. It's hard to collaborate. Even when you're in a relationship, having to tell your spouse, I want to do it this way, you're going to do it this way. Hey, we're out. I used the last of the peanut butter. We need to get some more peanut butter. Like it goes all the way down to that level.
You do smooth peanut butter or chunky?
I like chunky, but we buy smooth because
you're in America and that's the way peanut butter is supposed to be.
It's supposed to be smooth. No. It is supposed to be smooth.
It's supposed to be smooth. Yeah. It's called butter. It's peanut butter.
They have peanuts. If you want chunky, just eat peanuts. Okay, peanut butter is meant to be smooth.
I want both. I want the best of both worlds. I want the crunchiness of peanuts as I eat my peanut butter.
And your peanut butter. They're not two things. They're two separate things.
Well, they come in one container together, so I can get them as one.
I mean, that's the same people who make peanut butter and jelly in a jar together, or the same people who make chunky peanut butter. It can be done. It doesn't make it right.
Yeah,
it's trash.
Yeah, that gets disgusting. Yeah. Like after the first time using it, that whole thing gets disgusting. I bought it before.
Of course, you bought it before. You are the reason they create commercials. You are. You are. That looks interesting.
I mean, I got to put it out there. Like I tried the chocolate Skittles.
What?
That's an M&M.
No. There were chocolate flavored Skittles at one point.
I don't believe it.
Nah, I don't believe that. Yeah. Nah, I'm not buying that.
I'm telling you.
I'm not buying that they made them, and I'm not buying that you bought them. I feel like I expect more from you.
Look, I've told you guys many times, if they say new or limited time only, I'm probably gonna try.
You got your McRib? Did you get your McRib?
I have not had a McRib yet, just because I haven't been to McDonald's since they came out. Again, we don't go to McDonald's that often. And if we do, it's usually to pick up some chicken nugget meals for the kids, and we keep rolling. So yeah, I haven't been, but I'm gonna at some point I'll get one.
You don't have to.
No, I do.
No, it'll be okay.
It's limited time only.
I'm just saying, it'll be okay.
It's limited time only. We got to go grab one.
No. It'll be back. It never fails.
Mm-hmm. And I'll go for that limited time as well. I'll go get a peach shake when those come out.
They got peach shakes?
Yes. Chick-fil-A has a peach shake, and it's delicious.
I thought you were talking about McDonald's.
No, I'm just talking about the limited time only things. So peach season.
Taco Bell must be killing you because everything is limited time only.
Nah, it's Taco Bell.
Oh, that's where you draw the line.
I draw the line at Taco Bell. I'll eat it, but...
This Negro. Oh man, I forgot my second thing. Just messing with y'all that fast. Don't worry, I'll remember later. So let's go ahead.
I will say I'll throw it out there. Rest in peace to Crunchyroll. They just announced that Funimation is going to be buying Crunchyroll. So this is like nerd level 1000, but Crunchyroll is where all the anime is, and Funimation is a Sony-owned kind of streaming service for anime as well. But it sucks like really, really bad. Everybody loves Crunchyroll, and so Sony just said, you know what, we're going to buy Crunchyroll too. And so they're probably going to end up combining them, and it's probably going to suck because Sony sucks when it comes to their anime. So just throwing that out there.
And we'll take your word for it.
You watch anime.
I do, but I mean, I don't know the producers and the heavy hitters and stuff like that. I teeter on most things. Like, you know, I'm not an anime fan. We talked about this all the time. We'll talk about this later as well. Yeah. So speaking of what you should have been telling me about, and I mentioned a couple of times, is Titans.
Oh yeah, live action? Yeah, it goes hard.
Dude, like it's so It's so dark. Like, I love it.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna go back to the episode where I brought it up because I brought up Titans on this show last year.
That's on HBO Max too, isn't it?
Yeah. It was on DC because I talked about it when I was talking about DC Universe and their streaming service that they launched and then shut down in like 8 months.
And so maybe I was sidetracked on Young Justice because I'm a fan of Young Justice.
Yeah, and all of it came out around the same time.
And most live action like superhero TV shows, especially DC, I pass on because outside of, I think Flash was okay, Gotham in the beginning. I couldn't get into like Arrow, and
it sounds like CW is the problem.
That's what I think I said. And so I lump them all together. So when I hear Titans, I'm thinking it's going to be another CW type show, and did not realize that they put their foot in that shit. Like it's grimy. Do they only have 2 seasons?
Yeah, so far.
Okay. Yeah.
So they did renew them for a 3rd season. They actually the fan art or the art and everything for it. I think the trailers dropped for season 3 already.
Okay. And I started watching Doom Patrol, but I got sidetracked by Titans, and I think I'm like on episode 3 Doom Patrol, and it's kind of weird. So
yeah, it's weird. I only watched like 1 episode of it. I couldn't get into it.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give it one more episode and see if I like it, but I don't know. Where's Sophie, bro?
Sophie in there, maybe.
Sophie.
Hold on, let me go grab her.
So what you think of the guidance, man?
I like it, man. I put it on some ice. I've been just really chilling lately, so
your ice. Do you just have a lot of ice in there? Or do you have one of those ice molders?
Big ice molder.
Okay, yeah. I need to get me one. Because I like that when you go to a restaurant, if you order any type of bourbon drink, they usually pour it on a ice molder. Yeah. Well, look who's here.
Wow. Is that a unicorn dinosaur? Your laugh is so hilarious. I'm going to get you and Sky together. You guys just going to laugh together because she loves to laugh. She loves to laugh. Her laugh is hilarious. You got a good one for me, Sophie?
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's funny because I'm laughing already.
What do you get when you cross a porcupine and a turtle?
A porcupine and a turtle. It's like a sticky shell or something. A pointed shell. Ferg, what you got?
I got nothing.
A slow poke.
Well done.
Yeah, I would have got that one. Man, turtle wax went across my mind, pine salt, like dude, everything. I don't know. I was all over the place. Slow poke, but I never got that.
I like it.
I am a unicorn.
You are a unicorn. Sophie, everybody. That was a good one. Maybe you need to start laughing earlier, Razi. And
put on I just start laughing before I
put in a unicorn outfit.
Yo,
I don't know what your stick should be, but
Sophie be so pleased when she delivers that punchline, bro. Slow poke.
We need to give her what is the rim shot?
Yeah,
because she is hilarious.
Hey, Razi, you saw the Flack Ferg caught for saying he didn't like In Vogue, or they was annoying.
They weren't, dude. 93, you gotta remember, Mobile. It's only one radio station, really. 93 BLX played, giving him something he can feel every hour on the hour.
But that's what they do. That's program managers do that for every radio station.
I get that, but I got tired of it. wasn't feeling the song.
I know you
they
felt
can
the
sing.
video,
Now, don't give me.
right? You felt the video, right?
Yeah. They were super attractive. Don't get it twisted. Fine, but even the video, like I think that I was so annoyed by the song by the time they got to the video, and the video had this old feel to it, and it just made it like I was just like, I'm over this. And then SWV came out like kicking, like they were in that whole female R&B gangster type, like they had swag. Like I feel like In Vogue was made for my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like
they were different types of R&B.
I get it.
And I think that's the hard part. Same thing we were talking about with Boyz II Men and Jodeci, right? They're different types, and so it's really hard to put them up against each other and be like, which one's better? Which that's why I like Versus though. Versus, like even in the thread they were talking about how we're not talking about
they kept saying
vocalists and stuff who can sing better and stuff. It's all about the bop. Like is this hit better than the other hit? And can you groove to it? And you can groove to it regardless if they are, different types of songs. You can put a rock song up against a hip hop song and be like, which one's better? And it really is going to be like, all right, which one I feel more?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I said. To me, In Vogue had a couple of hits. Most of them I just got annoyed with. SWV, like even when they did with Unsung, like I tuned in just to go down memory lane with them. Like Human Nature, when they came with that Michael Jackson, I'm like, nigga. Like that was, I could wake up to that every morning.
Yeah.
Like that song never gets old to me. Rain, like those songs never get old to me. I'm annoyed now because that song has been in my head all day. It's in my head now. Let's talk about it. So let's get on something. So as I was saying, talking to Buff earlier, so I turned the big 4-0 Saturday, which is, I guess, 3 days away. It's Wednesday night. So less than 72 hours in my 30s, left in my 30s. And I'm approaching it happily. Like I feel like knowing where I was 10 years ago versus where I'm at today, completely different life, completely different energy. I've been so blessed to even, to be able to find time and the energy to put on a podcast like this, because life is good is the reason we can do these type things. And speak on life and through ups and downs. But, 2010, and I don't know if Razi remembers back that far, for me was just constant, just trial after trial. But I will say this. Recently, if anybody knows me, I do a lot of self-reflection. I'm my toughest critic. So I've really been thinking about my last 10 years, and then it led me to think about my entire 40 years, or 39 and a half, whatever. And I had I started becoming aware of a lot of the things I've accomplished, shortcomings, and just awareness of myself as a whole. So I'm going to ask this question. I think it's a 2-part question. What are you guys really, really passionate about? And if something were to happen to you tomorrow, what do you think you would be known for? What is that? What is your go-to?
I'm passionate about being a great father. I feel like with other things in my life, I definitely try my best, but I don't always get it right or do it right. And I don't always get it right with being a father, but I think out of everything that's important to me, I get that right the most. And, we've talked about it on this show a couple of times, but just my relationship with my dad really made me want to be so much better than he was with me. And that's why, I was doing the daddy-daughter day with Jasmine, because the number one thing I wanted with my dad was time. And, for whatever reasons, he didn't have it a lot of times. And that killed me as a kid growing up. So I always try to make time. I remember when she was like maybe 3 or 4 years old, maybe even younger, man. And she was taking dance. She didn't know what the hell she was doing for real. And it wasn't that important. It wasn't that, it wasn't like this grand program or anything like that. But it was the most important thing for me to be there. So I made sure if I was scheduled to work to take off, I did whatever it took to be there for the most part. And just making sure I let her know that she can come to me with anything, that I'll always protect her, in the sense that I always tell her nothing will happen to you before it happens to me first. Like, I will protect you with my entire life before I let anything happen to you. And so that's, Ferg, you've mentioned on this show before how I think we've talked about it on this show, how sometimes it's hard for us to accept compliments, or we don't celebrate ourselves enough. And there are some compliments that I really, are unsure how accepting I should be about them. But when people say, "Hey, man, you're a good dad," that makes me the most proud, because I know how hard I work at it. And that's what's most important to me. And if something did happen to me tomorrow or in any time in the future, that's what I would like to be known for the most, that he really tried his best to raise his daughter and let her know that she was loved. And that's the most important thing too, because I think sometimes we as parents assume that our kids know that they're loved because, I'm putting a roof over their head, I'm feeding them, but they literally need to be told sometimes. They literally need to be showed sometimes, just a hug or whatever the case may be. Like right now, I'm gonna wrap it up, guys. But you open this one.
Take your time, bro.
You open this one.
Take your time, bro.
You passionate about it. That's the whole point.
So my daughter's bedtime is 9:30, right? And so usually when I have to work, I head upstairs about 10 o'clock because I got to wake up early to make it to DC. And we used to be so strict on her, like, once it's bedtime, don't come out of your room anymore. But because a lot of times I work late, she misses me. So when she hears me come upstairs for the night, she'll come out of her room and come in there and just talk to me. And that, I've said before how she doesn't come rushing to the door anymore when I come home, but it's like she's found another way to show that affection. And so that means the world to me. And to answer your question, that's what I like to be known for, and that's what I'm most passionate about.
I love that. I love that answer, bruh. I mean, you got me over here feeling good, man. I'm going to follow that up with a third part then. What would you like to improve about that yourself, though? Like, if you're passionate about great father, if there was something else that you like, I'm good at, but I would love to be better at this.
Oh, man, I'm terrible at, I was just talking to Tabitha about this. I will take care of things that need to be done. But like I said before, how I may have an idea in my head that I may want to try to pursue, I'm the worst when it comes to procrastinating about that kind of stuff. So I'd like to be better at that. I'm always trying to work to be a better husband in ways like, I know there have been times I would just get agitated for no reason. And I've just really tried to check myself on that and just really just be as, I guess you could say, as warm as possible. But I'm always trying to surprise her with things. And, out of the two of us, I am the more affectionate one. Tabitha's a lot more like her dad. I'm the one that do the random I love yous or, try and come and get the hug. But I still want to be as best as I possibly can at that. So I'm always working to be a better husband. And Ferg, you've at times said you looked up to me and our relationship. I look up to you. I looked up to Razi and like how I would say you guys were so mushy on social media at times. Like Razi would make a post about Jenica. I don't do that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to be better at that kind of stuff, man, and just sometimes get out of your comfort zone and do that. So that, and last, we've talked about being better financially. We know the things I've done, selling Michelle, investing more. Shout out to Snowflake. You did good for me on my stocks. Disney stock looking good too. But just doing all that kind of stuff and preparing for the future. So preparing for the future, being a better husband, and less procrastination. Those are the 3 areas I need to work on.
Take it away, Braz. Man, you said some deep stuff.
So, I know. It's like that family thing is always a passion, right? But I think for me, I'm gonna kind of be a little introspective with it, and so I'm passionate about being true to myself. So, you guys joke on me about being a nerd, being, the super smart guys, those types of
being
things.
Cheap, don't leave that out.
Being cheap. Yeah. Like being true to myself. But at the same time, loving experiences. So, Ferg always says it's that white kicking up in my ass. It's like I want to experience life. And so anything that comes along, I'm like, hey, I'll try that. Why not? Let's do that. Let's go bungee jumping. Let's go swimming with sharks. Why not? Like who doesn't want to swim with sharks? They both raised their hand to the listeners.
So, Razi, I only say that when you do stuff or entertain stuff like swim with sharks, or we go to war and you volunteer for missions that nobody else wants to volunteer for.
That was a special forces mission. Who doesn't want to go and ride along with the special forces and be like, yes, I want to go on a mission with the special forces. Why not?
There's a reason that people don't ride along and go on missions with special forces, but I digress. Continue, sir.
Okay. All right. But so anyway, that's really what I'm passionate about. Is just being so true to myself and being open and honest about who I am, what I think and everything. And so that's leads to all that other stuff. So being true to myself and being so passionate about that and being and always working on it and always making sure that I'm transparent leads to being able to say I love you to my kids, being able to say I love to you guys. And that's where I'm trying to work on, is being able to say I love you to my friends and to other things, because I'm so serious about that word or that phrase that I do withhold it for very, very particular folks and even moments for those people. I wanted to hit home when I say it. I don't want it to be just a general, every time I talk to you or every time, we talk, I'm saying I love you. Like when I say I love you, I really, really mean it. And that goes back to that, just being true to myself and being true to what I believe and what I think. As far as what I want to be known for, I think is just being the good guy. And I think that's what I will be known for, is being the good guy. It's like, if anybody knows me, knows that I'm going to do whatever I can to help anybody that I can. I talked about always being the optimist and always assuming that people are coming at me with good news or for the betterment of me. I want people to think that anytime I say anything, it really is in support of them and to help them out and to make them have a better outlook on life. So that's really what I want to be known for. And what I'm working on, I think is being more fun. And I think I've talked about this too, being more fun for the kids, because I'm just not the fun guy. I have my quirks and so I have fun in my niche of, okay, we can talk about comics and nerd out and play video games and that type of stuff. But if that's not what they're interested in, if that's not what they want to do, then it's hard for me to just kind of get up the oomph to just be like, okay, let's go do what you want to do and spend time and enjoy that time with them doing what they want to do. So that's what I'm working on and trying to get better at, so that we can spend time together and all of us enjoy it, and me not just gritting my teeth and being there for them. And I can put the mask on and I can make them think that, you know, I'm loving it and it's the best thing in the world. But at the same time, I really want to feel it, because going back to my passion of being true to myself, I want to feel what I'm actually putting on for anybody. So those are kind of my three.
I agree with all of that. I mean, to have known you is to love you. But you've always been true to yourself. And I think we all manage that well. I think that's a part of why we've all bonded so much as friends. If this was a video game, you could definitely pick each one of us as a different character, because we share a lot of similarities and values, but we're all so different. I remember going to visit Sherman. I don't know if that was when we were in...
Was that Ocala?
Ocala, or when we went up to Missouri, and I was wearing something, and Sherman like, what you got on? He was like,
that was definitely Kansas City. That was Kansas.
He's like, you know what? Ferg's always had his own style. Like Ferg is gonna do Ferg. So yeah, I get that, you know, and I think that's why we always bonded too, is because you've always been you. We've always let each other be ourselves. But if we saw something that took away or that was negative, we were quick to address it and try to help. You know what? I've been pondering over this for the last few weeks. It took me a long time to get here. I thought and I think part of it is, and it's all wrapped up into one, my passion is, I think, helping others. That's when I feel like I'm doing my best. But I think in the last day, I'm taking it a step further. Had a counseling session with my guy the other day, and I think it comes down to not only helping others, but it goes back to, I think, my rearing. My stepdad was my role model, and he, to me, set an example. He set a great example for me when I was a younger kid. And he was the one that always pushed me and guided me and told me I needed to be the best and stuff like that. He was my example. And when him and my mom split up, I lost a part of that. Well, I lost that, you know. So from the point him and my mom split up, I always felt like I was on my own to a certain extent. I've been very independent. Even talking to my younger brothers, like, dude, you've always been this little grown man. Like, even when you were a kid, you always kind of had to fend for yourself. And I think that's why I always wanted to help others, because I didn't want people to kind of deal with some of the things I dealt with. But now that I reflect a little more, I think this part of me wants to be a good example. I never want to be perfect, but and it's not for others. Like, I'm not trying to keep up with the Joneses. I'm not trying to do it for glitz and glamour and admiration. I just know a lot of points in my life when I was like, man, I just wish I had somebody I can look to see the answer or where I need to go. I think a part of me wants to be that on so many levels for different people when it comes to marriage, family, finances, career, friendships, giving back to the community, like help. Like I want to be that person, because I feel like I needed that person, you know. And we brought this up probably one of our first podcasts about looking for a mentor. And I think that's part of it, because I was talking to Echo yesterday, and he was like, do you have a mentor? And I'm like, no, I'm still looking for one. And we were talking about it, and it came out that basically I wanted my mentor to be an older, wiser version of me. Because it's like, you know I'm not perfect, and I struggle. And part of the reason I asked this question is because what I was going to ask this last week. As of last week, I didn't think I had a passion. Like, I don't really get passionate about stuff, you know. Like, even, you know, Sky was joking with me the other day, or talking to me the other day. She colors and all this stuff, and she was making a family portrait, and she gave me a purple shirt. It's like, Daddy, your favorite color is purple. I'm like, nah, you know, I just wear purple because I'm trapped and it's convenient. And then she's like, what's your favorite color? Like, you know what? I don't know. It's not really that serious. Like, I think, do you guys have favorite colors?
Blue.
Green.
See how you thought about that instantly? Like, if you ask my favorite color, I'm like, it could be blue or gray. I'm assuming just because they're very neutral. Like, but I'm not adamant about it. The only thing I think I've ever been passionate about, not even passionate about, that I've been really consistent with is the Dallas Cowboys. And, in the last few years, that's waned. And I was never like a super, like, I know every game score and everything that goes on, everybody on the team. I was just like, I rock with the Cowboys. No questions asked. It made it easy. And maybe that was because, my dad told me we like the Cowboys and I just rolled with the Cowboys. And I'm thinking that's my passion, like helping others and trying to be that person other people can look for. I don't know if you guys remember when I was thinking about getting married and even raising kids. That's what I talked to you. That's really, Byron, when we it was perfect timing being there with you and Tab when we got engaged, because I was just like, I didn't know success. I'd never seen successful married couples. I don't, in the married couple I see, men are talking about the old ball and chain. Guys didn't seem happy. And I just never saw good examples of things I wanted in my life. I heard about them, even talking to my old roommate the other day. And we brought you up, Razi, about like, I should have bought my first house probably 10 years prior to what I did. But it was so far-fetched to me because nobody I knew really, or that was close to me, intimately, like family, did that. So I just assumed, I know grown-ups who worked their whole life that never had any of these things. So who am I to think that I'm supposed to have a house, at least now? I always thought I was going to be successful, but it was always further down the line. Yeah, I'm going to be successful. Just, my mom didn't buy her first house after she was 50. So why would I think that I'm going to get a house at 25? And so all those things I struggle with, as I look through life, I felt like, you know what? I wish there was somebody here to guide me. I don't know what I would be known for. I mean, I just found out my passion, so I don't know what I'll be known for yet. But I don't know what it is. I feel like I know more about what you guys would be known for. If something happened to you today, what I would say about you guys or how I remember you guys in a few words. But for me, no. Things I would want to work on. I think being more open, less thinking. Like I overthink things. My emotions are a constant battle with my logic, which doesn't allow me to be overly passionate about stuff, because to me, it makes no sense to be that passionate about stuff. Like, why would I get all riled up about a football team? Why would I get this excited about this? That doesn't even make sense. Like, how could I be excited about this singer or this rapper? Like, nigga, they're not putting food on my table. So I literally talk myself off of get excited about things. But for you guys, Buff, you would be Mr. Commitment to family. Like, to me, you are, since day one, like, I just felt like there was a commitment to, you wanted to be greater. You wanted to be kind of like, not even wanted to be like, you're a great example. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think part of what I want to be is like that. I feel like you're a great example to young men around the world. Like,
but Ferg, I'm gonna stop you there. You are. Like, just being honest about it, because it's this idea of you are successful, but you don't see yourself as successful. It's the same way, like, all of us are really successful at what we do in our jobs, but we are still striving to do better and better, right? And so, but people are going to look at you and Z and Sky and TJ, and like, that commitment to family is there for you too. Like, you can't listen to this podcast and think people wouldn't think that about you. And when you talk about what you want, you not knowing what you're going to be known for, dude, that passion of helping people has been there your entire life. There's no way you stayed in Tallahassee and you made so many lines that while you were there Like you touched so many people while you were in Tallahassee, still helping on campus, getting people through college, like giving them those lessons learned that you went through so that they wouldn't have to do it. You were shepherding them through those early years in life. So you were being that shepherd and that role model that you talk about for them. I think really what it comes down, you need to step back and really kind of think through that passion that you just talked about. I'm sure there's plenty of bros that will say that you helped them out. There's plenty of people, your brothers and sisters. There's plenty of people outside of the bros that you've touched their lives, and the people that listen to this podcast and the things that you say here. Like, that passion of helping people is what you're going to be known for, because you have helped people.
I appreciate that, man. You know, that was another part of what Byron says. It's hard for me to accept. and let me be honest. Like, I don't think like I'm bad. Like, you know, I was telling Z, I think the best way to explain it was I'm never that go-to. I'm never that first person you think of when you think of, I need help with this, let me call Ferg. Or this person's great at this, let me call Ferg. So if we were playing football, we're playing on the playground, we were picking teams, and each person was picking a team of 10. I won't be picked first, but I'll be picked third or fourth, no lower than fourth. Like, I feel like I'm a little above average in most things where I've been that allowed me to be successful. And also when I'm passionate about stuff, I'm really good at it, but my logic won't let me be passionate about stuff. But I appreciate that. I think, did I say I accepted it? Was that thank you?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's a thank you.
Long way of saying thank you.
There you go. Yeah. You did say I appreciate that though. So yeah.
And Razi, you're Mr. Dependable, dog. Like, you are Mr. Dependable. You've always been the good guy. You've always been that little angel on my shoulder when I was, a voice of reason for God knows how long. We've been doing this since 1996. And to think that I didn't like you, and if I would have been we could have easily not have been friends, and I can only imagine where my life would have ended up without, you being a part of it. You've just always been a good guy. You've always been a good guy. Part of me, and I think that's why I always felt the need to look out for you, because I always felt like people were going to try to take advantage of you.
Oh yeah, because I'm naive, and you knew it.
Yeah. I was trying not to say it. I ain't want to call you naive. But that was a thing. Like, I felt like that was my part in our dynamic duo. It was like, I'm gonna watch out for Razi. I'm not gonna let anybody take advantage of him. He's gonna be good. Because people will take his kindness for weakness. So. But, I really appreciate you guys. I know we took a long time on this question. So who's up next?
I think it's Razi's turn to go next this time.
All right, cool. It may be a short question. I don't know. But I shared a video with you guys, and I was debating whether I wanted to actually use it as a question or not. But for the listeners, the video had a guy kind of explaining how women think that they want a good guy. And so, and they have this long list of things that, will make them happy. But then those things like, oh, he's honest and he's smart and all this and that. And then the dude was like, but that don't drop the panties. It don't make them horny. Like, and so he's like, the same things that you say, you want that make you happy is not what's actually going to turn you on and make you attracted to that guy. What you want when you're talking about being attracted to that guy is you want that alpha male, you want that leader, you want that guy with the swag, you want the good looking guy. So they're two different things, and certain times you can find them together in one guy. That's the unicorn or whatever. But most times it's hard to find both, and so for you guys, I wanted to kind of get your thoughts on what is it that you think women really, really want? Is it the panty dropper, or is it they want the good guy? Because I see so many good guys get curved.
So basically, you saying dude was saying what will help dudes, Basically, he used to
well, not necessarily get the draws. Get the draws. GTD. Not necessarily to get that, but just to even attract the woman, to get them to the point where they will date them and not friend zone them.
Man, that's a good one though, Razi, because I actually thought about asking that today, but I figured you were. I think there was a lot of, for one, I don't believe in absolutes. Let's start with that, you know. So, but I think there's a general perception of not what women want. I think what women are told they're supposed to want. You know, and so they're going to say these are things this is what a good man looks like. And it was like being honest, dependable, loyal, supportive, all those good things. And like you said, he said he's spent his whole life, his young adulthood, trying to be that guy because that's what he thought women wanted. And he didn't get women. And what he realized they were wanting was that guy who was a leader and, you know, passionate and had a little edge about himself. And I agree because I've seen too many women. I've very rarely heard women talk about their experience with that good guy, that bad experience, that relationship that just didn't go well with the good guy. But there's a shit ton of stories about that horny nigga, the nigga that got him horny. There's a bunch of baby daddies that on paper were not what a woman wanted. You know what I'm saying? So at what point does it all come together? And he said, you know, to be that complete guy is the one that really wins. And I disagree with you. I think there's more complete men. Like, I feel like we're more of that complete package. I feel like we're nice guys, you know, we have a lot of that, but we balance it off. I feel like we're still leaders, you know, we can walk in any room and take over the conversation. We have that personality. We have that confidence. We have those things that attract women. And therefore we ended up with women that upgraded us, you know, like they were, once again, all our women are out of our league. But at the same time, I don't think there is a formula. I think it's people are misled thinking that they're supposed to want certain things. And a lot of times they'll try that nice guy and realize that that's not what they want, especially when they're younger. And which leads them to find the bad guys for this period in time. And I think even we were talking about it last week where, you know, and maybe it was on another show where women have kids by all these quote unquote bad dudes or dudes that got them horny and then turn around and want the good guy again. You know, they want, you know, they had the kids with this guy. Now they want the good guy to come be that guy and still possibly want that bad guy. I don't think there's I think we're all just attracted to what we want. You know, if we're more attracted to the energy and the fire and all that stuff in a relationship, it all depends on what you want in a relationship or what do you want long term out of the relationship. Because and I was telling Z after I watched the video, same thing, like, you know what? I never was that. I'm not going to say I was ever just like all the way good guy. I was just never the bad guy. But she was the first person that I was with that made me want to be more of that good guy. You know, like I was a decent boyfriend. I'm not the dude that's going to have you out here looking crazy in the streets. But, you know, I still wasn't fully committed. There was nothing. I hadn't found that person that made me want to be more of that complete guy. And maybe women need to see more complete men who can honor, cherish, nurture, help build, and, you know, be that shoulder to cry on, you know, those situations where there are potential obstacles that can be that, you know, help them out, unload some of their baggage and make them more comfortable in life. But at the same time, they can have fun. That can, you know, debate with them, that can challenge them, that can still get them horny, that can, get in the bedroom and change their life. That's still part of it. Sex is if anybody says sex is not important in a relationship or marriage, they are a fool. I saved you some editing, right?
Or their meatage is wet.
Meatage. Oh man, there's a lot to unpack here. Let me start by saying, first off, it's not that hard to be both. And I think he mentioned that, it takes a great man to be both. I don't think it's that hard to be both. But to answer your question, Razi, what do women want? I think you can just broaden that question and say, what do people want? And a lot of times we don't know what we want until we get it. And then we figure out, damn, that's not really what I want. Because guys, they want a chick that's bad, right? Fat, you know what I'm saying? PHAT, fat, fine, whatever. Then you get with her and now you insecure because everybody trying to holler at her and you think you about to lose her. Or it takes a lot of money to maintain her and keep her and all that kind of stuff. So you find out you don't want that for a woman. You might want that, quote, bad guy, and then you get with him and he's lacking on the emotional side. I hear a lot of women a lot of times say they want a man to be in touch with his feelings and be emotional. Yet I'm in this group, in this Facebook group that showed like a screenshot of these sex threads where a guy had lost his best friend, where he was like on life support in the hospital. And his girl, I think they had been dating for 2, 3, or 4 years. She was at a baby shower. She had already been there for like 5 hours. And he found out that his best friend of like 20 years is probably about to die in the hospital. And he's like, yo, I'm not good right now. Is there any way you can come home? I just want to be with you. I need your love. And she's like, I'll be there after I finish this baby shower. It was a coworker's baby shower. And she told this brother she'll get there. Pretty much she'll get there when she'll get there. And I just saw some of the comments and it's like, well, he need to not act like a. So women, you can't have it both ways. You can't say men need to be more sensitive, need to be more expressive of their feelings, and then they do it and you call them out their names. So I just think people in general a lot of times don't know what they want. And the last point I'll make is to specifically answer your question. I just think it depends on where they are in their life. So when they're younger, they probably just want the guy that makes them horny. They're not looking for a guy that's going to make them feel safe or whatever the case may be, unless they're trying to be in a committed relationship with them. But if they are, and once they progress to that part in life, then they will want those things. But at that point, he's going to need to be both. At some point, you got to be able to turn her on. You can't be.
But I don't think everybody. There's a lot of beta males that just they don't have a lot of those qualities.
Get them wet. They get them wet qualities. They can't get them wet. And I think that's what I'm talking about is
this guy?
The guys that can't get them wet.
Dude, maybe being in college and just seeing like when you're at FAM, there was like at one point it was like 12,000 students. 13,000 students. And so when you're around all these men and women and you just seeing how the relationships and stuff like that and the stuff that was going on and how, they're supposed to be in this committed relationship and she's coming to you because he's some sabu. Like, it's just, bruh, I'm just saying there was chances to capitalize off of the nice guy.
Yes. Very much so.
Very much so. I've seen it, dude.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Being the other guy is not
I'm not saying all that. I'm just saying I've seen it.
I didn't say I said being the other guy.
Oh, wow, man.
Not putting nothing out there to say, but
fellas, figure out how
it happens.
Figure out how to try to be both, though, man, because it's good to be all that stuff that what the guy said, the stuff that women are attracted to, but not necessarily make them horny.
They're happy.
They're happy. Makes them happy.
There's something that makes them happy.
Yeah.
But you just think like if you're not confident, I think to me, like even going back to last week, looks go so far, but I think what always,
yes,
I've never really had a problem with women, not because of the way I look. I think I've always had an air of confidence about myself that's not everybody can't be that. You know, I used to walk around telling people embrace their inner Ferg. Like, I felt that good about dude, you just need to be more like me, which is being more like yourself. And that's what Ferg is. Now, embrace your inner Ferg.
So I'll say this, Ferg. I'm not that confident. I was never that confident in high school and stuff like that. But I wasn't insecure. And I think there's
I was arrogant.
See, there's a difference. Like, I've never been. I think that's why now in life I try to encourage so many guys to always shoot their shot. Never think a woman is out of your league, because I remember thinking that about certain women. It's like, nah, man. I've never had that confidence. So, but I wasn't insecure. So if a woman like Tabitha approached me in the 9th grade, once she let me know that she was interested in me, boom, game on. Now I can do my thing. But as far as being the guy, how you are, Ferg, and how Razi, like, yeah, she wants me. I've never been that type of dude who's like, I think she wants me, anything like that. I don't have that type of confidence, but I think you just can't be insecure. Like, if a chick says she's digging you, believe her.
Yeah. But there's dudes that you might not have been, and I've never seen you, like, I always thought you were confident, but I would never picture you as being insecure. You weren't as outspoken as some of us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you were kind of more laid back. You were always in the cut. Like, you were always laid back.
Yeah.
But you also had chicks like Tabitha walking up to you. Growing up around Melvin Hooley Johnson, I had to have a air of confidence about myself to be around that, because in the 90s, light skin with pretty eyes winning.
Yeah.
And so
that's true.
What women want is Hooley. In the 90s. That's all they
in
wanted.
the 90s.
Yeah.
So, but
no.
just bringing it in, for me, it's I agree, Byron. It depends on the age or the time in their life as what they want. But the issue comes down to those good guys, the guys with those happy qualities that don't have those, get them wet qualities, as we can call them.
Get the draws.
Get the draws. GTD. That's what we're going to call them. GTD qualities. All right.
Nah, Get Them Wet was a song for a reason. So
yeah. So the GTD qualities, if they don't have those and they can't work on getting them, they may never get the girl. I mean, those are the guys that's still in their 40s, they trying to make it sound like, oh, I'm single, I'm good, I'm happy because I'm single. But a lot of them is just, they still just, they can't GTD. Like, the girls aren't feeling them because of that confidence, or the look, or it's something about them that's not making them come. They can be the greatest guy in the world, but if that female is not turned on.
Wait a minute, wait. When you just said it's something about them that's not making them come, did you mean like? Which come you talking about, dog?
Yes. Yes.
I'm pressing mute.
Byron, it was supposed to just keep going. Like,
that's my bad. I couldn't let that go.
So that's my thing. I think ladies either want the GTD qualities or both. Is kind of what I was getting to. Yeah. They don't want the make them happy qualities without the other. And the guys that have the make them happy qualities, and I think that's what the video was kind of talking about, is those guys are hard pressed to find a woman
they'll
that
find them.
Is going to be with them.
They'll find them later in life they'll settle for them.
And
try to turn it into
what was the post? What was the post, Byron? It say if they've been ignoring your inbox for years and now they finally hitting you back, that means they settled for you. Yeah. That's what ended up happening. Is they settled for them later on in life, where the unicorns and the well-rounded guys didn't choose them, so now they're gonna I'm gonna settle.
But guys do the same thing.
Just a happy guy.
We do the same thing.
Oh yeah. I mean, guys do it.
The girl next door, we bypass, all the chicks that we really should have dated, or we were going. We were guys are just as dumb. So not to call it is what it is. What's up?
All right, man. This actually the setup to this question is probably going to be longer than the answer. I don't know if you guys saw Dave Chappelle's latest, I guess you can call it like a YouTube skit / special. It's about 18 minutes, but it's called Unforgiven. And Ferg, I think you said it several months ago that he is the GOAT. And when I look at his style of comedy now, I don't know if he's the GOAT. He probably is, but I don't know. I'm not an expert on comedian history, but I don't know too many comedians. Like his style now, what Dave Chappelle does now is he'll tell one story and kind of end it. And it's like you put a pin in that one. Then he'll come to a second story and do the same thing. And then he'll come to the third and then bring them together at the end for like this larger punchline. So like on Unforgiven, he was talking about how when he was a young comedian, he told this joke that an older comedian liked, and he asked, could he borrow it? And then he saw that the comedian was still using. He was like, yo, I'm gonna need you to stop using. And dude was like, I'll pay you for it. And Dave was like, nah, I need all my jokes. And dude was like, well, I can just take it. So then he transitioned to another story about how he saw this magician and he found out that everybody around the magician was in on the act. And so he felt dumb for falling for it. So when he saw other people coming to go pick a card, he was like, yo, don't do it. They're all in on it. And the magician said, look, never F with a man's money. Put a pin in that. And then he came to like a third story. And then by the time he brought it all together, he was talking about how Comedy Central made him feel by selling Chapelle Show to Netflix, and Netflix was streaming it without him getting any money whatsoever. And shout out to Netflix because they did what some people were saying was the right thing. Chappelle said, hey, this doesn't make me feel good. They said, bet. They took it off. And he also mentioned how he took Chapelle Show to HBO at first, and they said, what do we need it for? And then all of a sudden now, years later, they're streaming it. And so now he's like, what do you need me for? So I set all of that up to ask you guys, because some people are saying that Netflix did the right thing, which we all like Chappelle, so we probably agree with that. But I know, Razi, you're big on business. And at the end of the day, you sign a contract, you got to honor it. The fact of the matter is he's under contract with Netflix. Netflix could have easily said, we hear what you're saying. We hate you feel this way, but sorry, dog, we're going to keep streaming it. And we see it in sports all the time when an athlete is upset with their contract, the team ownership, they're like, sorry, you signed this contract. We're going to need you to play. We're going to need you to go out there and catch the ball, shoot the ball, hit the ball, whatever sport it is. So my question to you guys is, if you were running Netflix, or you can even take it to sports, if you were running a pro team and you're a star athlete, or in this case with Netflix, I think it's safe to say he's their biggest comedian on their platform right now. He comes to you and says, hey, what you're doing right here doesn't make me feel good. Could you please stop? And you have no obligation. There's nothing he can do about it because he's under contract. Do you do what Netflix did and keep your talent happy? Or is it business and you try to, keep that profit margin as large as possible?
Money talks. So it's all a business decision for me. And truthfully, I think that's what it was for Netflix too. I don't think they did the right thing. Like they grew a conscience and was like, oh, let's take this off because Chappelle doesn't like it. I really think it was just a business decision of how many streams are we getting on Chapelle Show? Doesn't matter. How many new subscribers? Because really, they don't care about streams. And like a lot of people think it's all about the streams for them. It really isn't. It's about new subscribers, which is why they cancel shows after like 1 season, 2 seasons a lot of times, because they really don't care how many streams it had. So what they're looking at doing is, okay, we streamed Chapelle Show for a month, 2 months. We probably got most of the new people that jumped on to watch Chapelle Show probably jumped on in that month, 2 months. And so now that we've got the new subscribers, they've watched Chapelle Show, they've moved on to something else, hopefully, watching Peppermint or whatever the new thing is, Queen's Gambit. They're hoping that people are continuing to go and watch. And now they're saying, okay, and now we can pull this off and make Dave happy and show him that we're doing something for him and hopefully get even better content out of him, what the next 2 or 3, I think, specials that they have him under contract for. That's a business decision that makes more sense than pissing him off and him doing like a lot of artists when we talk about recording artists and everything where, oh yeah, you got me for 3 more albums. I'm going to drop trash for 3 more albums and get out of my contract. And then I'll go somewhere else and try to, and I'm all my fire. I'm going to actually hold off and then I'm going to drop it on my special on my next platform.
Agreed, because definitely was all about money. Because if it was anything else, for one, the only part I disagree with you is I don't feel like Netflix grabbed a single new subscriber because of the Chapelle Show. Like, I passed the Chapelle Show on Comedy Central once a week. Like, there was nothing new. If it would have been something that was more valuable, let's say there was a whole 2 seasons of unshown skits from the Chapelle Show and Netflix bought that shit would be there right now.
Yep.
Because that is value. They would have took the chance of pissing him off and having 3 specials later, a you Netflix special on HBO to show 2 seasons of unaired Chapelle Show scenes. There was no value into it. I try. We called you the good guy earlier. I try not to screw people over. That's like my common rule in life. Like I feel like I don't burn bridges. I can really count on one hand, and I would have to think of people that I've burnt bridges or pissed off in life that I can't go back to. So I would never try as an owner to try to intentionally screw somebody over. I don't think Netflix did anything wrong. That was between Comedy Central and Netflix. Comedy Central is the person that would owe him. So if they wouldn't have took it off, I wouldn't have been mad at them. But if I pick and just like marriage and any other relationship, you pick and choose your arguments. I'm fine with 95% of the you do. It's the 5% I'm worried about. When I put my foot down for the 5%, this wasn't in that 5%. This wasn't worth the argument. They didn't gain any subscribers. If anything, they look better by doing this. Mm-hmm. If anything, they came out on top. And the thing about it, they still have the rights to that. They can launch that stuff right after his contract's up. They get another 3 specials and Chapelle is the hottest thing on TV, or he gets another show, he might launch a show on Netflix. And guess what we're going to do right after that show? We're going to air old Chapelle shows. You know, or maybe do they have the sole rights to Chapelle right now? Shows?
I don't think they have the sole rights.
Okay, so I think they have the streaming rights. So Comedy Central can still play it on Comedy Central, but nobody else can stream it.
What are we talking about then?
So love y'all answers. A lot of people were saying, "Oh man, Dave Chappelle shows how much power he has." I felt like it showed how much power he doesn't have because he had to go. It was nothing he could do about it. He had to go to Netflix and just ask them would they. And they had the power to say, okay, yes or no. So I guess in a sense, you could say he has power in the fact that they considered what he had to say and aired in his favor. But I think it showed a lot of the lack of power he had. Also, it was interesting. He said he thought about doing another Chapelle show, but he wouldn't even be able to call it Chapelle Show because Comedy Central has the rights to that name, Chapelle Show, and he asked everybody to stop watching it. He literally wants people. Dave Chappelle is asking people to not watch the Dave Chapelle Show. And my final point is, in hip hop, I've constantly said that Kanye West and Lil Wayne are two of the artists I can think of that have had, like, I would say 2 or 3 vastly different careers within one career. You think about Kanye when he first came out wearing the Louis Vuitton backpack, to being, I would say, lyrically a better rapper, to doing what he's doing now. You think about Lil Wayne from he was only rapping about jewelry and cars, bling, 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 this and that. He also graduated to being a better lyricist. And then now, after the lean and the drugs and everything, he's mostly talking about eating pussy. But still, nevertheless, 3 careers within one career. And to me, Chapelle has really changed his career to where when he told that joke about fried chicken about 20 years ago and he was in Half Baked, that's not the Chapelle we're getting now. We're getting you watch 846, a younger Chapelle couldn't have pulled that off. Mm-mm. You know what I mean? So it's just been fascinating to watch him. And I think Ferg might be right. He might be, if he's not the GOAT, because you think about the other comedians I love. I love Chris Rock. I love Bernie Mac when he was alive. But their comedy routines, I'm not going to say are all the same, but the tone of them have always been the same. Chapelle literally has, to me, like 2 or 3 different careers right now. And it's just been great to watch him. And for all those that haven't checked it out yet, it's on YouTube for free. It's called Unforgiven. It's only 18 minutes. It's worth your time.
I think with Chapelle, and maybe because I'm a thinker, he's that comedian that truly makes you think. He talks about what's going on in the world. And I think society now, because we have more access to information, our world is broader than it's ever been, even though we're probably researching less and less. But we get little bits of information. Like, we might not be knowledgeable on everything, but we know just enough to be able to hold a decent conversation about most things. And Chapelle is the comedian for that audience. He's a comedian for the new world. He's a comedian for, I get my news through social media. I understand what's going on with police brutality. I've heard this story. I've heard that story. I've heard this thing. And prior comedians would talk about the Black experience. You know, like, growing up Black, we were poor, yada, yada, yada. It's like, man, I was sitting there watching the Juicy Smouye. Like, that to me, pure comedic genius. Juicy Smouye. Pardon shot, fellas.
I got 3 quick points. One, my mom's birthday is coming up. When you guys hear this show on Monday, her birthday is this Friday. It's December 18th, which I think is a Friday. So, happy birthday. I have no idea how I'm gonna be that day, but it'll be her birthday. So I love you, Mom, and happy birthday. Also, we lost Chadwick Boseman earlier this year. And we lost Natalie Reid 2 days ago. Well, by the time you hear this show, it'll be several days ago. Colon cancer. And I feel like it was another reminder for especially Black people to please get all of the recommended necessary checkups. Do everything you can to prolong your life and live a healthy life. And I think, God has given us constant reminders throughout this year with these high-profile deaths. And this last point, man, I just came about as we were recording the show, especially with your question, Ferg. It's something that I just realized when you were asking your question and I was answering it. I remember I used to constantly refer to you guys as they're like family. They're like my family. Like, we're so close. They're like family. And what I've noticed, especially in the last year and a half, I don't say you guys are like family. Y'all are family. The like is gone. Like, we've been over this before. What went down with Razi and his family back in March, how we rallied. That's what families do. how you guys came through for me when my mom passed away. That's what families do. How we constantly check in with one another, care about each other's well-beings and stuff. That's what family do, man. So I just want to tell you two and the rest of, the SWAT family that I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I'm happy to call you guys family.
Oh, we love you too, Byron.
Look at that.
Love.
Look at that.
Yeah, we love you, Buff.
You were never the problem, Ferg. It's him. It's him.
I know. He was somebody, he says, I love you. I probably heard that maybe. He might have said it 3 times on the show, so I might have heard it 4 times. And
that's what's up, man.
Life from him.
No.
We never question it, though.
The only thing I have is if anybody's looking for just something fun to do as a family in the house, I know we're all stuck. There's a board game called Drone Home that, how you go in the little board game section and your kids ask for all the ones, the Yeti on my spaghetti and all the crazy ones. And you're like, I ain't buying that crap. That's stupid. And I broke down and I bought Drone Home for Oliver, and it actually is a really fun game. Like, for him to put down his Nintendo Switch and not ask me to play the PlayStation and go down there and be like, let's play Drone Home, it has to be actually good. And so for the last 4 days, we literally have been playing Drone Home as much as we could actually have the drone charged. So it's a really fun little game if you guys want to just do it with the family. All it is you guys are like flicking little like aliens into this little drone. And then when you get one in it, the drone flies off. So it's real cool, real fun. And it's actually worth the little $14 or whatever for it. So just something fun for the family to do. And finally, I did look up the Trump psychology thing. It's called malignant narcissism. And there's 4 components to it. So it's narcissism, paranoia, antisocial personality disorder, and sadism. And they've diagnosed him with all 4 of those to make him this malignant narcissist that they say that he is. So
what platform is on? What platform is that on?
I rented it on Apple TV Plus, okay. But I'm sure you can find it on Fire Stick or whatever.
Okay, and it's not a board game, but we posted it on our Instagram page, 3 Brothers No Sense. Apparently, you can challenge a draw 4 in Uno. So read those rules the next time you get ready to play with the family. You can challenge.
What do you mean challenge?
Oh, apparently I haven't played Uno in so long, dude. But apparently, if someone throws down a draw 4, you can challenge them and say no. If they have, I think the color of the card that's down there, if they have it, then they have to draw like 6. Listen, go to 3 Brothers No Sense on Instagram. The video is there.
That's that 2020 bro. We ain't buying it. We ain't buying it today.
Giving people hope, man.
Like, don't nobody listen to Uno tell us how to play Uno.
They always weighing in like, shut up, Uno.
Uno, what you know about Uno? If I want to know about Uno, I'll go ask my cousin. I don't have much, I've mentioned this before. So by the time you guys hear this, I will be the big 4-0. And so I got my first birthday card today. My mom sent it, and I just, it was the perfect card for the moment. I just felt like, I don't know what it was, but I don't know if she just had this innate way of finding out what I needed to hear at the time. So I talked about my loving wife last week. So this week I'm going to give a shout out to my mom, Maggie Ferguson, my first love, so the card reads, I love you not just because you're my son, but because you're a very special person. I don't think you even realize how much you have going for you and what a unique individual you are. I have so much confidence in you. I know you'll be able to achieve anything you want at it, whatever you try. And that's why I hope you never stop dreaming on your birthday or any other time of the year, because you deserve the best of everything. Happy birthday. Love always, Mom forever. So that's how I started my day. And the quote about just not knowing how much you mean or how great you are and stuff like that just really hit home as I've been, self-reflecting over the last few few weeks. So really appreciate that, Mom. Perfect timing. No, you're not going to hear this, but thank you and I love you. Three Brothers No Sense. Listen, like, share, subscribe, comment, and most importantly, listen again.